So today I've got a cool one for you. I'm going to share 5 things that made me a profitable trader. These are things I've done, lessons I've learned over the past few years, things I've changed that really helped me become much better at trading and eventually profitable and making a full-time income from trading. This is part of a bigger training we've done for our Desire Trade Academy members. We have these mastermind calls every 2 weeks where we dive into topics, cover some things that help us, some lessons, some in-depth trainings. I'll share more about this at the end if you want, but I really want to dive into these 5 things that helped me become a profitable trader. So we'll dive right in.
And now we move on to El Presidente, Etienne. Take it away.
Yeah, appreciate it, Michael. And there's going to be a lot of commonalities here in the things that we talked about. And mainly we didn't want to get off because if you see something coming up over and over again in what we say in each of us, because it's kind of really important to understand and to master. So a few things can be similar, a few things can be different. We got some good takeaways from Michael, good takeaways from Anando as well. So there's a lot there to cover. But let's dive right into my 5 things that changed my trading career. These are going to be fun. Okay, this is a big one. So the first one, which would kind of start strong here, is being comfortable not to trade. So that's a tough skill to build, being comfortable not to place a trade, like being able to spend a day watching the charts. And even though there might be some setups that are maybe not good enough, you don't trade. You just still stay on the side and do nothing. That takes a lot of skills to learn. And I had to kind of train myself because in the beginning I was trying to sit at the chart. And because I sit there, I got to take trades. Because I'm at the chart, I should be trading, placing trades, adding orders, managing these different trades. But you don't have to do that necessarily to be successful. So being able to take a step back and say, should I be trading now or not? Then that makes a big difference to your results. So being comfortable and not kind of feeling guilty because you see people on Instagram or on social media or YouTube, whatever, that are placing trades, or you see other strategies that look tempting to master and learn. You got to take a step back from this and not try to go to these things and be okay with not placing trades for even a day, a week. Now sometimes I don't place any trades for a week and I'm just okay with it. I know if my edge is not there, if I'm not comfortable placing trades, I shouldn't be in the market. I should be just on the side and doing something else. And that's kind of the point here of being able to stay on the sideline while everyone else say you got to jump in, you got to take this trade, you got to look at Bitcoin, you got to look at this and that, but you stay on the side and do nothing because your edge is not in the market at this specific time. That's a big skill to master. Let's go to number 4. All right, this is also a big one. So similar to what we talked about before is focusing on my specialty. I came into trading with a bunch of different expectations of I'm going to pick strategies, I'm going to learn a bunch of stuff, I'm going to be able to trade in all kind of conditions. And I kind of did that for a while, but I realized that I was really not performing good in different conditions. And I would be much better to take a step back and only focus on what I'm good at and kind of keep the other things on the side. So some strategies, some things I'm not good at. And I probably could be good at those things if I wanted to. But also I don't have to be good at those things. I can just focus on the ones I'm already good at, the ones I like, the one that makes sense to me, and kind of keep these other things in the sideline for maybe later. We often talk about the development plan, being able to grow and become better over time. That has a good place for sure. That's a big impact to your trading. But at the same time, trading all these things, all these strategies, all these markets, there might be some place where you kind of get some overlap and you just do too much and you really kind of spend too much time on trading where you could be doing less and getting almost the same results or a little bit lower results. It's kind of like the 80-20 principle where you kind of can do a lot of work and get a bit more result, or you can do a lot less work and get roughly the same results for that a lot less work. I much prefer to be that way where you just do what you are good at and what you're supposed to be doing and kind of leave the other things aside and don't touch these things too much. So focusing on my specialty, what I'm good at. Now it's about 2 strategies. So I only trade roughly 3 or 4 things. So long-term reversal, I trade a Tokyo breakout session, and then I trade a RSI breakout. And that's about it. I have algos on the side. These are the different things, but I just have 3 setups that I focus on. And those are my 3 things that I trade well these days, I think. And I could just kind of leave the things on the side. Maybe work on them later if I want to, but they're there to kind of add maybe in the future. But me doing all these other strategies I had in the past will be a waste of time. Plus it will be not adding too much to my returns anyway. So being able to focus, keep it down to things you're good at makes a huge difference. Now let's go number 3. All right, that's a huge one. And one thing here about personality and training is we think about, am I a better day trader? Am I a better swing trader? What time frame should I focus on? What kind of strategy should I learn? Should I go per section? But I'm not talking here about what are your habits in trading? And what I mean by this is what are your triggers? So what makes you do things that you shouldn't be doing? And what's your common go-to actions where you feel scared or where you feel you have anxiety or something or fear the market? And for me, understanding that was a big key because now I'm able to not only understand it, but I can take actions to kind of prevent that. So I had a big issue in the past with under trading. And what I mean by this, like some people, they revenge trade, they take too many trades, they go in the market, they will take like a bunch of trades, they will want to jump in on this, jump in on that, take a trade here, take a trade there. Even though they have no setup in the market, they should be trading at this time. My issue is like the opposite. So I'm more like a under trading type. So I go in the market and I'll be like fearful of the setup. I'll be, oh, it's not perfect here. I'm not going to take the trade. I'll skip it. Oh, this one here, I'm not sure. Oh, this one here, I kind of miss it a little bit. I'm not going to jump in now. I'll wait for this one later. So being able to understand that and finding strategies, finding ways to deal with these things has been a huge, huge part of my journey in terms of mindset and development. So being able to figure out like, why do I not take trades? And what can I do to take these trades when my edge is there, when my edge is present? So a big key here was like doing a checklist, having things in my desk to kind of follow. Looking back at like Michael talked about in his number 3 or number 2, was looking at the math behind the strategy. That was a big part of it. And also being able to kind of look at my stats, my own results, and seeing when I make money, when I don't make money, and when I should be jumping in, when I should be on the side, and kind of making that line very clear, like clear cut. You either jump in or you don't. It's very clear. And there's no like ambiguous or, oh, should I be there? Should I not be there? It's very clear cut what you should be doing at this time. So that was a big help for me. And that was, of course, it's always understanding first. You got to understand your personality first. And then you got to take actions to overcome those traits that hurt your P&L and hurt your results. So if you always go in that under trading mindset and you're always like skipping trades, you're always like avoiding trades, then you end up having like a really bad month where you could be having a really good month that month. Just because you didn't jump in on the right trades, you waited on the sidelines, and then you kind of regret that later. So for me, that was a big key. Let's go to number 2. Okay, that's a cool one. So people talk about trading and they kind of have this perception of you should be trading all day. And that's, if your job as a trader, you should be trading. And if you go in with that mindset, that's like you want to trade all the time. Like you want to place trades, you jump in the market in the morning, place like both trades. Then you kind of look at the market, see how it evolves, and you place more trades. That's a way to live, but that's not the way I want to live. That I kind of have a different idea of trading for a living. So me being able to define my traveling trader routine was a big key. And what I mean by this is like when I started to travel the first time, I kind of didn't have any routine. I was like, oh, I'll just like wake up in the morning, look at my charts, place a few trades. But that can quickly become like, it just doesn't work well. Like you kind of show up in the morning, you're like all clueless. You're like, oh, what time is it? What time zone am I? What do I gotta do? Do I gotta follow this plan, this strategy? Like what's happening there? So being able to kind of take a step back and having a routine that's defined, that no matter where I'm in the world, I can just follow that routine. I know roughly the time zones. Like, of course, I'm going to plan a bit more if I go in a different time zone. But I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what steps need to be taken before placing a trade live in the market. And if I can just do these things, then I'm going to be pretty good. And that often includes like exercise, of course. It includes some journaling, includes some reviewing my stats, my journals, includes being able to kind of look at the market before I jump in and place trades. So if I can do these things right, which is very simple, nothing like a 5-page routine. It's very, very basic and simple. But I know when I do these things well, I can trade well. And that's kind of the idea here. And being able to do it in the shortest amount of time possible. I don't want to be trading at 5 hours a day or even 4 hours a day or even 3 hours a day. I want to be trading maybe an hour and a half a day maximum. Then I have other time to do things on the side. And that's kind of the goal here, is being able to take a step back and look at what things can I do more efficiently to not like waste my whole life trading. Because that's not where I want to be. I want to be in a place where I can trade and have freedom at the same time. So that routine was a big key for me. And the thing is, people love to kind of copy routines. So they love to go on YouTube and like find the trader routines, the millionaire trader routine. And that stuff is cool, but what about the routine that works for you? What about the habits, the things that can make a difference for you? It won't be the same as me. It might not be the same as people on YouTube. And most of that stuff usually doesn't work or it's fake. But it should be things that you do that help you become a better trader, help you level up your mindset and kind of be in a more abundance mindset like Michael talked about. Be in that place where you feel good and you're not too confident, but you're not too like afraid of jumping in the market. So kind of that perfect frame of mind to look at things that help you get there. And if you can get there every day, then that's of course a really good routine you have. So that was a big key for me. Let's go number 1. Okay, so I met Michael Thomas, who changed my whole trading career. So that's kind of a joke, but my point here is, let's go to the next one. My point here is connecting with traders. So we discussed this a few times, and you see it coming. Alex mentioned it, Michael mentioned it, I mentioned it again, the same principle. So that must be kind of important, right? To have other traders around you, go to meetup, surround yourself with the pros. I think it's one of the biggest keys in my trading career, but also like whole life, because I was in a place where I didn't know if equipment trading worked for at all. I knew trading could work for me. Then I had to work really hard on it. Then I connected with people who were trading, like traders at the time. I went to meetups, I met other people that way. I started a podcast eventually where I was interviewing with traders. Then I started to, of course, help other people online and kind of build up that way and become a full-time trader that way. I did not reach out to traders and kind of connect with other people online, or either authors I was like reaching out to just to kind of chat or interview them, or people I just wanted to connect with in meetups. That would have like been a whole different story there. So I wouldn't be where I am today for sure. And that was like probably the biggest part of my whole career, is being able to reach out, even though it feels uncomfortable, and even though you don't know if they will respond or they will say no, whatever, do it anyway. People with even a high profile, sometimes you could be surprised. They say yes. Like you ask them to meet up for a meal, meet up for drinks, meet up for coffee, or interview them, and they'll be happy to do it. It's very surprising. Some of the guys that I reached out to, sometimes I was scared, I was afraid. They were like authors of books that I knew, that I read many times, that I love. Then we reach out to them, and then they say yes, and then they we can connect with them and for relationships. And these things kind of tend to sometimes I can be the person for a meal is cool, or a drink, and it's all good. But sometimes you have connections that will last for multiple years ahead, and that's where these things are really exciting. Is that you can meet people who will change the way you do things, change your perspective on things, and kind of help you become more like way different than you thought you would be before. And that's kind of the goal here, is being able to not being afraid to reach out and connecting with people that you want to be like, and then see where this goes. Sometimes it doesn't go anywhere. Sometimes it goes really far, and that's a very big key to, I'd say, my whole trading career. So yeah, those are the 5 ones. Of course, there's probably more. I want to hear what you think and what things help you a lot with your career. So we'll pass it back here to Anelo, and we can dive into a quick discussion or a quick chat on things that help you to become a better trader.
Right, so I hope you like this video as always. Hope you get some value out of it. I had a lot of fun putting this together because it's a topic that I think about and kind of go back to my own career and look at things that I've done, things I wish I have done differently, and things that help me to become better. So kind of cool to discuss. If you want to be part of a community and get access to these mastermind calls that are happening every 2 weeks or every month, all you got to do is apply for the Dutch Trade Academy. It's a program that includes coaching. I do calls with you, and we go in depth on helping you become profitable. There's a whole course that goes with it, but a lot of it is based in coaching and community. So being around other traders, talking to people who do the same thing you want to do, and kind of leveling up your surroundings and people around you. I'll put a link to apply. You got to fill in this questionnaire. We'll get back to you if it makes sense and if you're a good fit to work with us. And if you aren't, I'll try to suggest you a way to get the best results you can, either with my free content or with other things I've got going on, because my goal is to be able to help you get to your goals faster. Make sure you subscribe if it's not done yet. I post these videos here on YouTube 3 days a week, and I'll catch you back here pretty soon in the next video. Ciao.